I actually love it. It goes back in my mind to what we were talking about earlier, is that there is no playbook. We have to constantly innovate. And the thing that I took away from there is we have to get into those right conversations. If we can get into those right conversations and we feel good about the trust and the value that we can provide, then we'll make the most out of it. Getting into those conversations is the hard part. And it's getting harder and harder. The B2B buyer today, the self-service, journey, they're waiting longer and longer and longer to want to even talk to us. And people have more and more on their plate, right? Teams aren't being increased, they're being decreased. So people are spending more time trying to get less time getting more done. So for us to carve out space in their time and get a piece of that valuable time, we got to really think through that. Right. And that's what I took away from your demand mastery is that we have to treat that conversation with something with such respect that we have to earn the right for that conversation. We're not owed that conversation at all.
Nope. And it's fine too, because we've been working on our new go-to-market. A lot of agencies and consultancies are guilty of this, right? They're like, hey, we actually don't want to pitch ourselves. We want to hear what the problems are, and then we'll help you solve your problems. And I say to our team all the time, right? Like, that is the goal of the conversation, is to listen. But you also have to earn the right to ask, hey, what is your biggest problem? What is keeping you up at night? And you earn that right by the research you do and by everything we talked about in that sort of last little segment there. And I push our groups on that all the time. Like, I would love to get on the phone with some of our CMO clients or prospects and just say, what's the biggest thing keeping you up at night? I can solve that. But I genuinely don't feel like I have the right to do that without credentializing us and the value we can bring based on our external knowledge so far, right? And I often say to folks, hey, look, we have a 50 to 60% of the way there baked perspective. We're going to have this conversation. We're going to give you some of that intelligence. We expect you to say, hey, you're wrong in these 2 or 3 areas, but you're right in these 3 or 4, lean into those a little bit further. And the next conversation will get you from 50 or 60% of the way, but you help us bake the cake to get to 70 or 80, right? But that first tranche of work, you have to do that, right? In a modern, sales growth role or trajectory. And it's incumbent upon you. And I don't always think that was the case. I think the best were always doing it that way, but I think you could have gotten away with it, maybe 5, 7 years ago, not having done that nowadays. And you have no excuse to, right? With the tools we have at our disposal to do research better, to understand things faster. The tools our clients have, we have too, right? To understand these things. So I think that's really important, is just table stakes to being successful in any role, in any growth or marketing org.